Welcome back to another video. So today I'll be showing you guys how I made these amazing garlic potato donuts, or as I like to call them, onion rings with potatoes. Regardless of what you want to call them, they taste really good, and I'm going to show you guys how I made them. So we're going to be using the ring of an onion as the mold for the donuts. So as you can see, my onions are quite small, so I'm going to have to get the right size of onion ring by cutting multiple onions. You probably will only need like 2 or 3 onions in total. So here I have some baked potatoes. I think I used about 4 baked potatoes in total, but they were small potatoes though, so if you have large potatoes, you can probably get away with only 2 of them. So now I'm seasoning them with some kosher salt, black powder, and garlic. You can go ahead and use any seasoning you want really, but I've seen this dish a lot and I've never seen garlic being used. And I just thought I think garlic would really blend well with the flavors being used here, like potatoes and onions. And, you know, spoiler alert, it did. It worked very well. So now you want this potato mixture to almost be like a doughy texture, because it has to hold together around the onion, right? That's why I'm adding some flour and some cornstarch. If you have potato starch, that would be better, but I only had cornstarch, so I used cornstarch. And combine them until they're just starting to become really doughy. Now I'm just going to chop up my mozzarella cheese. That's going to go in the onion mold. So next, my hand's blocking the view, I'm sorry. Very unprofessional here. But, so you just want to slide the cheese in, and you make sure you kind of put them in tight. You want to put in as much cheese as you can. And then you're going to roll out your potato dough and just place it around the onion mold, but make sure you don't roll it out too thin, because you want a lot of potato. And not only do you want it around the onion, you want it on top of the onion. You want to flip it and you want to put it below the onion, but make sure you poke your finger into it like I'm doing to make sure that hole is not gone. But you know, you get the general idea. And as you can see, my little donut is horrendously getting out of shape. It's almost not a circle anymore, but I'm gonna pat, I'm gonna mold it in my hand. It's like working with clay almost. It's really moldable, so just make sure you use a lot of potato, because you want a lot of potato. You don't want a flimsy little skinny donut. We want a big thick donut. And then we just repeat that many more times until we're done. It's a good amount of work, but trust me, it's gonna taste so good. It'll be worth it. You'll thank yourself. So up next, I'm preparing the breadcrumbs, because we're going to be crumbing our little donuts to make them nice and crispy. So I put some salt and chili, okay, a lot of chili in there, but you know, you put how much chili you want. I need a lot. So if you don't have breadcrumbs at home, because I didn't, you can just make it yourself. I toasted these until they were like quite hard, until you know they're like almost hollow inside, until like the moisture is all gone. And then I threw them in a food processor and they came out like this, and there you can see a little bit of bits and chunks in there, but that's okay. It's nice if it's a little bit coarse. You don't want it to be like super fine. You want a little bit coarse. So normally when you're breading food, you use some water or some egg wash to get it wet so that the breadcrumb can stick to the food. But my donuts were just sitting there and I saw that they were kind of wet. It's just like the natural juices from the potato. So I was like, oh, okay, I think the breadcrumb will just stick fine. I don't need to use egg wash. If you want to use egg wash, go ahead. It'll add a little bit of flavor, but I don't need it. I don't think egg flavor really goes with this type of thing anyway. But if you want to, go ahead. I don't control you. So now that they're breaded, they're finally ready to be deep fried. So don't be like me. Make sure when you put in the donut, you put it away from you, not towards you. That's how the oil splashes back at you. But make sure you're frying these in medium heat, not in high heat. High heat, I mean, it'll be fine. It's just your onion won't be fully cooked. So if you don't want a fully cooked onion, I guess you could do that. But I do want my onion to be fully cooked. So I'm, cooking them on medium heat and kind of taking a little bit longer to cook it, so that everything's cooking evenly and I can have them in there longer to cook the onion. Otherwise, cheese will melt, the potato will be cooked, and your onion will be raw. So just make sure you cook it on medium heat. Make sure to give them enough time on each side. Make sure you get the right color on each side. Like you want somewhere between a dark brown to almost a reddish brown. So Well, you know how to fry stuff, I'm pretty sure. But if you don't, you're seeing me do it, so I'm not gonna shame anybody. So that's the video. I love this dish. It's a really good take on onion rings, I would say. Not sure what's called a donut. I mean, it looks like a donut, but it's really an onion ring with potatoes. But I added my little touch with the garlic. It was really cool. I really liked it. Tastes amazing. You should try it. But that's the video. Nice and easy, but more importantly, nice and lazy.